I humiliated my BIL at my husband's birthday, and I'd do it again. The fork in my brother-in-law's hand stopped halfway to his mouth. Your cleavage is showing, he said, loud, clear, pointed straight at me across the table like I was on trial. You shouldn't have worn that dress. It's inappropriate for a family gathering. The room went silent. My mother-in-law's hand froze on the serving spoon. My husband's eyes dropped to his plate. My sister-in-law looked at me, then at him, then back at her wine glass. The only sound was the hum of the fridge in the corner and the ticking clock above the sink. I felt every eye on me. My face burned. My chest tightened, not because I was ashamed, but because I was furious. This wasn't the first time, not even close. It started 6 months ago, after he moved back in with my in-laws, after his wife left him, after Nana, his ex, the woman from Greece he tried to control, finally walked out and never looked back. He'd been miserable ever since. Everyone tiptoed around him. Everyone made excuses. He's heartbroken, they'd say. He's struggling. Just let it go. So I did. The first time he told me my jeans were too tight. The second time he said my shirt was too low. The third time he muttered something about respect when I wore a sleeveless top to Sunday dinner. I smiled. I nodded. I stayed quiet. But tonight, my husband's birthday, a night that was supposed to be about celebration, he decided to do it again, in front of everyone. I felt my husband shift beside me. He wouldn't look at me. He never did when his brother started. My mother-in-law cleared her throat, already preparing to smooth it over. My father-in-law stared at his plate like it held the answer to world peace. No one was going to say a word, so I smiled. Knock, knock, I said. He blinked, confused. What? Knock, knock, I repeated, louder this time. My voice was calm, sweet even. He glanced at his parents, then back at me. Who's there? Nana. The air left the room. His face went white. His jaw tightened. His hands gripped the edge of the table. For a second, he didn't move, didn't speak, just stared at me like I'd slapped him. Then he forced a laugh, fake, brittle. Nana who? I leaned forward, looked him right in the eye. Nana, your goddamn business what I'm wearing. My sister-in-law choked on her wine. Someone gasped. I didn't look to see who. He pushed his chair back. The legs scraped loud against the tile. He stood, face red now, mouth open like he wanted to say something but couldn't find the words. Then he turned and walked out fast. The front door slammed a few seconds later. My mother-in-law's fork clattered onto her plate. That was completely out of line, she said. Her voice was sharp, controlled, the way mothers sound when they're trying not to yell in front of company. He's heartbroken. He's depressed. You know what he's been through. My father-in-law nodded. You didn't have to bring her up. My husband still wasn't looking at me. His hand was flat on the table, fingers spread wide like he was trying to steady himself. You were deliberately hurtful, he said quietly. You knew that would hurt him. I didn't respond. I picked up my fork, cut into my chicken, took a bite. They waited for me to apologize, to back down, to shrink. I didn't. Because here's what they didn't say. That he had no right. That he'd been doing this for months. That I'd stayed silent every single time because they asked me to. Because they told me to be patient, to be kind, to let it go. But kindness has a limit. I finished my meal in silence. My husband drove us home without saying a word. The whole ride, I stared out the window, hands folded in my lap, breathing steady. When we got home, he finally spoke. You need to apologize. I looked at him. No, he's family. So am I. He shook his head. You embarrassed him. In front of everyone. He embarrassed me first, I said. Every time. And no one ever said a word. He didn't have an answer for that. I went upstairs, got ready for bed, washed my face, brushed my teeth, stared at myself in the mirror for a long time. My phone buzzed. A text from my mother-in-law. We need to talk about this. What you did was petty and cruel.